Since the overthrow of barter as a form of transaction in the history of mankind, transactions have represented the interchange of goods and services for a comparable abstract value, such as money. On a daily basis, a large number of transactions are initiated by a wide range of economic actors in a given economic system. Every transaction, whether they include the procurement of products, monetary resources or services, have two main settlement elements, which are the delivery of the products or services and the release of funds. The industry was also faced with heavy challenges, including the overbearing impact of fraud and corruption, erosion in public confidence, persistent cases of distress and failure, poor asset quality, among others.
I think the past is this. This is what we all knew, cash. Whether it was cowries that became pounds, British pounds, ended up as naira, as small denominations 50, as larger denominations 500 and 1,000 naira. That was the root of commerce, of exchange of value.
Electronic banking can be described as the act of carrying out the business transaction seamlessly using technology.
Over the years, we've moved to this, to cards. And this is, I think, about 8 years now in Nigeria that we had cards, again, mainly for cash. The cards were a pseudo means of taking money from your bank account and taking that money as cash and going on to use it and spend it. But we've evolved from then to using cards as a means for payment itself, not just as an intermediary for collecting cash.
A situation in which from the convenience of your home, your office, on the road, you can transact business. That improves the velocity of money within the economy, which is something very good for the growth of our nation, especially at a time such as this.
We have journeyed well in the e-payment arena in Nigeria. A lot of innovations have come up, in this country and especially in this field and in this industry that is basically second to none globally.
The volume of transfers done on instant payment platforms, be it NIP of NIBS or Quick Teller of InterSwitch, you will see over time that these has grown. And these are transactions that were hitherto done via cash. We are not there, but we have made significant improvement.
We have made a lot of progress, not only in the value, but also the volume of electronic payments. You remember, as a Nigerian, that at the end of 2011, in the whole country, we had less than 5,000 POS terminals. Less than 5,000. Now, we're talking hundreds of thousands.
If you compare where we were 2011, 2012 to where we are currently 2016, thereabout, it's a whole lot. Number of cards in the industry have really grown. Number of POS have grown tremendously. Number of ATMs have grown. People have adopted and people use alternate channels through web, through mobile to do all of their transactions.
The GSM technology has also provided us the opportunity to use what is called USSD, that is unstructured supplementary service data, to do transactions. The USSD is something like star hash. So that comes with the mobile technology. And because of that, you can use it to open an account, you can use it to transfer money, you can use it to recharge your phone, and a lot of other things.
Financial experts postulate that despite the tremendous progress in e-banking in Nigeria, there are still problems of adequate information and communication technology awareness campaign about electronic banking, issues of security, e-fraud, awareness of e-banking in rural Nigeria, and quality of service, among others.
When we talk about security, there are two sides to it. There's the deterrent, which is the security you put in place. The hurdle is raised, is high. There's a big fence you need to cross to get in. Then there's also the punishment. Can I be caught? If the probability of being caught is high and being sanctioned, it raises the barrier and the risk of doing that fraud, whether it's e-fraud or any kind of fraud.
Fraud
is not Nigerian. Fraud is human. The amount of fraud in US, in Russia, in India, in Pakistan, in UK, even in Japan, compared to what is happening in Nigeria, you call Nigerians saints.
Fraudsters would always move where money is. Once upon a time, people used to carry cash, and armed robbers used to waylay people, and banks were broken into and all sorts of things. That has reduced significantly. That means fraudsters now have to move to the electronic space.
Part of the things that leads to fraud is gullibility on the part of account holders. So what we are going to address that is to do education. I'm sure you must have been seeing our adverts in the newspapers and even radio jingles. For example, on those who send text messages that, oh, this is CBN help desk, your BVN was not properly configured, so we have stopped the usage of your card. If you want to continue to use your card, call us. We have been running adverts on that.
It is in line with this that the Committee of E-Banking Industry Heads was formed in 2008 by a group of 3 bankers, Uchenna Okudu, Ronke Kuye, Wumi Ogumbi, to further deepen and sustain the growth and development of Nigeria's electronic payment industry for accelerated national development.
Electronic banking was just coming up in the country, and there was need for recognition. There was need for banks to speak with one voice. We needed a forum where heads of departments of CeBIH could come together and share ideas without necessarily competing with each other. And as at that time, you had organizations like heads of treasury, heads of branch operations, heads of risk management. So if CeBIH had to there was need for CeBIH to have a face. There was need for heads of electronic banks in the banks be recognized. That was the idea behind the formation of CeBIH.
Idea was for us to have a forum where the heads of e-business and e-banking in the Nigerian banks could meet, to share ideas, aimed at growing the e-payment industry in Nigeria, and also engage the relevant stakeholders in the industry.
Well, there is no industry stakeholder or group of stakeholders that is better placed than CeBIH to shape the payment landscape in Nigeria.
The Committee of E-Banking Industry Heads was formed to achieve the following aims. 1. To cooperate and exchange ideas necessary for the growth of e-business in their respective banks. 2. To have a pressure group responsible for liaising with other industry stakeholders. 3. Charting the course for the growth and development of e-banking in Nigeria.
Our role, by the way, at CeBIH is purely advocacy, right? We don't put up a quarrel, but we sit down and we make people see, the reason why something must be done. We had to show CBN in an empirical manner that the removal of that 100 naira acquiring fee, right, has further grown cash in the society, contrary to the policies of cashless that CBN was trying to, advocate or bring up.
We knew that e-payment was essential, and we were working towards its acceptance. So when we found out that within the banks and our MDs it wasn't forthcoming, so we used CeBIH as a pressure group to work with CBN and achieve what we wanted.
CeBIH comprises of all of the banks in the industry, heads of e-business, head of cards of all of different banks in the industry. So in doing that, we compete among ourselves. But when we come to that umbrella of CeBIH, we leave our competitive minds apart and we collaborate to ensure that ultimately in the industry wins and not just our individual selves.
Here is a word of advice from stakeholders.
If they're able to get the confidence of the regulator as yet another association or body that can work with the central bank to improve things, I think that would be very good.
The agenda has to be bigger than electronic payments, electronic commerce for the banks. They need to build an agenda where it's seen like our interest is in Nigeria, but the platform we have today is the platform of the banks.
We need to keep engaging them, and we also need to expose them, to international best practices. And that was why I said earlier that maybe what we need to do is expose them to trainings on what is happening outside Nigeria, especially in more developed economy, payment-wise.
And as committee of business heads, it's not just about being in the bank, it's about how do we impact on the larger society. And the only way we can impact on the larger society is for the government, to ensure that professionals are also part of what they do. So that we can bring in transparency, we can bring the ease of doing business.
They've done very well, I must say. However, they need to do more. One, the first thing I want to say is physician, heal thyself. CB, be careful. Your job may be off before you know it. The same technology you are pushing can get you out of business.
The following are the 19 commercial bank members of e-banking industry heads: Access Bank, City Bank, Diamond Bank, Echo Bank, Fidelity Bank, First Bank, FCMB, GT Bank, Heritage Bank, Keystone Bank, Sky Bank, Stanbic IBTC Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, Sterling Bank, Union Bank, UBA, Wema Bank, Unity Bank, and Zenith Bank.